Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and I'm so excited you're here with us today. Whether you're on your way to work, relaxing at home, or maybe even out for a walk, it's the perfect time to work on your English skills.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia, and I'm thrilled to join you too. Today we have a really exciting topic, one that can completely change the way you practice English.
That's right, Julia. Today's episode is all about talk English anywhere, anytime. We're going to show you how you don't need a classroom, a textbook, or even a formal lesson to improve your English. You can practice and grow your English skills right where you are every single day.
Exactly. And if you ever feel shy, nervous, or worried about making mistakes, stay with us because we're going to share simple tips and real stories that will help you feel more confident to speak up and use English everywhere.
So, get ready, grab a cup of coffee if you like, and let's dive into this exciting journey together. Remember, speaking English isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave, consistent, and having fun along the way.
Let's get started!
All right, let's jump right into it. First, let's talk about why it's so important to practice English anywhere and anytime. You see, a lot of learners think they need to wait for a perfect time to practice, maybe during a class or with a teacher. But the truth is, if you only wait for the perfect moment, you miss hundreds of opportunities to improve.
That's so true, Jason. Language is a skill, just like playing the piano or learning to cook. You don't become better by only thinking about it or studying the rules. You improve by using it again and again in real life.
Exactly. Even small conversations, like saying hello to your neighbor or asking a shop assistant a question, help you build real-world confidence. The more you practice speaking English naturally, the less scary it feels.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I used to talk to taxi drivers, waiters, or even people standing in line at a coffee shop. Sometimes I made mistakes, okay, a lot of times. But every small conversation made me stronger.
I love that, Julia. It's not about speaking perfectly. It's about building a habit where English feels like a normal, comfortable part of your life, not something stressful.
Exactly. Also, when you practice in real situations, you're not just learning words, you're learning how people really talk, the natural rhythm, the slang, the real expressions.
Right, because real English is often different from textbook English. Practicing anytime, anywhere, helps you sound more natural and connect better with real people.
So if you're listening to us right now and thinking, but my English isn't perfect yet, remember you don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to start. Every time you try, you're one step closer to fluency.
Absolutely. And we're here to remind you that practicing English doesn't have to be scary. It can actually be fun and exciting when you see it as a daily adventure.
Every conversation you have is like a mini success. Celebrate it. Smile about it. Because you're doing something amazing, you're growing your English skills every single day.
Now, we know that practicing English sounds great. But let's be real sometimes. It's scary, right? Speaking in public, even in your own language, can make you nervous. And speaking in English can feel even harder.
Absolutely. I think every language learner has felt that fear, the fear of making mistakes, of people judging you, or even just freezing and forgetting words. It's completely normal.
Yeah. And you know what? Even native speakers make mistakes when they talk. We forget words, we mix up sentences, it happens to everyone. The key is to not let that fear stop you.
Exactly. One thing that really helps is changing the way you think about mistakes. Instead of seeing a mistake as something bad, see it as a sign that you're learning and growing.
That's powerful, Julia. And here's another tip: start small. You don't have to give a big speech in English on day one. Start by saying hi to someone. Order your coffee in English. Ask a simple question at a store. Tiny steps build big confidence.
Another thing that helped me when I was learning a language was preparing some simple sentences in advance. For example, if I knew I was going to a restaurant, I would practice a few sentences like, "Can I have the menu, please?" Or "I would like a coffee." That way, I felt ready.
I love that tip. It's like carrying a small toolkit of English phrases in your mind. And little by little, your toolkit grows bigger.
Also, it's important to remember most people are kind. When you speak English with them, they usually appreciate your effort. They're not judging your grammar, they're happy you're trying.
Exactly. And even if you make a mistake, it can actually lead to a fun moment. Language is about connection, not perfection.
Hey Jason, should we give a quick funny example?
Sure. Let's imagine I walk into a coffee shop and I want to say, "Can I get a cup of coffee?" But instead, I accidentally say, "Can I get a cup of cow?" Everyone laughs a little, but guess what? I still get my coffee, and maybe even make a new friend.
Exactly. Sometimes mistakes make you more memorable, not less.
So remember, friends, be brave, start small, laugh at mistakes, and keep moving forward.
You're doing something amazing by speaking another language. Be proud of yourself.
Okay, so now that we've talked about overcoming fear, let's get really practical. Where can you actually talk English anytime?
Yes, there are so many places, and honestly, many people don't even realize how many chances they have every day to practice English.
Right? Let's start with the most obvious at work or at school. If you have international colleagues or classmates, it's a great opportunity to have small conversations in English.
Absolutely. You don't have to have deep conversations at first. You can start with small talk like, "How's your day going?" Or, "Did you see the game last night?"
Exactly. And even if you're nervous, remember, people love it when you show interest and try to communicate.
Another place, and one of my favorites, is cafes and restaurants. When you order your food or drink, try to use English. Even if you're in a non-English speaking country, sometimes the staff understands basic English, and it's a great safe place to practice.
Yes, and here's a simple idea. Before you go to a cafe, think of 2 or 3 sentences you can practice like, "Can I get a coffee, please?" Or, "How much is it?"
Love that. Another fun idea, talk to tourists. If you live in a place where tourists visit, they often speak English. You can help them with directions or just say something simple like, "Are you enjoying the city?"
That's such a good tip. I remember when I traveled to Italy, some local people practiced their English with me by helping with directions or just starting a small chat. It was really nice.
Also, don't forget online opportunities. There are apps and websites where you can talk with people from around the world through text, voice calls, or even video chats.
Exactly. You don't always have to be face-to-face. You can join English groups on social media, participate in language exchange programs, or even find speaking partners on apps like Tandem or HelloTalk.
And if you're a little shy, you can even talk to yourself in English at home. It sounds funny, but it's actually a great practice.
Haha, yes. You can describe what you're doing. I am making breakfast. I am getting ready for work. Just speaking out loud gets your brain used to forming sentences naturally.
Another great place to practice is during travel at airports, hotels, or train stations. Even simple questions like, "Where is gate 5?" or "Can I get a map, please?" help you build confidence.
And don't forget about public events like conferences, exhibitions, or workshops. Many international events use English, and even if you only say a few words, it's great practice.
Oh, And for those who love technology, using virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant in English can help too. You can ask questions, set reminders, or just practice simple sentences.
That's such a smart tip, Julia. It's like having a little English partner right in your pocket.
Exactly. So, as you can see, there are so many places and situations where you can practice English, and most of them are already part of your daily life.
The key is to be creative and be brave. Every situation is an opportunity if you see it that way.
You don't need a classroom to practice English. The world is your classroom.
Beautifully said, Julia. All right, coming up next, we're going to share some fun ways to make English speaking a daily habit. Stay tuned. All right, now that we've covered where you can practice English, let's talk about how to make English a natural part of your everyday life. It's all about consistency and finding ways to integrate English into what you already do.
Exactly. You don't have to study for hours every day. Small daily actions can make a big difference.
One of the easiest ways to start is by changing your phone settings to English. I did this when I was learning Spanish, and it helped me a lot. You'll start seeing English all around you in your apps, your notifications, and your messages.
That's a brilliant tip, Jason. And speaking of apps, another way to practice is to use language learning apps. But here's the trick, don't just use them as a lesson. Try to use them like a quick check-in every day. Maybe you do a short 5-minute quiz or listen to a new phrase in the morning.
Right. And you can also set reminders for yourself to practice. It could be something as simple as setting an alarm that says, "Practice English for 5 minutes." It's an easy way to make sure you're always thinking about English during your day.
I love that idea. Another great way to make English a part of your life is by watching movies and TV shows in English. If you're watching a series you love, try turning on English subtitles or even watching without them once you feel more comfortable.
Yes, and if you find a show or movie you like, you can repeat lines. Don't be shy about saying them out loud. It might feel a little silly at first, but that's how you start sounding more natural.
Exactly. You can even start thinking in English. It sounds strange, but when you're walking down the street, try to think, what's happening right now? In English. You'll slowly start thinking in English instead of translating from your native language.
That's a great one. Another idea is to find a study buddy or practice partner. It doesn't have to be a formal class. It can be a friend, a coworker, or someone you meet online. Even a short, casual conversation every week can make a big difference.
And don't forget about social media. You can follow English learning pages or even influencers who post in English. You can join English-speaking groups on Facebook or Reddit where you can practice writing and reading.
Social media is a goldmine for this. And remember, it doesn't have to be all about study. The idea is to make English fun and interactive, so you don't feel like you're forcing yourself to learn.
Exactly. The more you use English in your daily life, whether you're talking, reading, writing, or listening, the easier it becomes to pick up new words and phrases without even trying.
Yes. And before we wrap up this part, I want to leave you with this important thought. You don't need to make English learning feel like a job. Make it a fun part of your lifestyle. And the more natural it feels, the faster you'll improve. All right, so now we're at a really fun part of today's episode. We've talked about lots of ways you can integrate English into your life. But now, let's talk about small challenges you can try today to take your practice to the next level.
Yes, the idea is to challenge yourself just enough to keep things exciting, but not so much that it feels overwhelming.
Exactly. Let's start with a simple one. Talk to someone in English today. It could be a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger. The goal isn't to have a perfect conversation, it's just to get used to speaking out loud.
I love that. And if you're not sure who to talk to, you can always try ordering food in English at a cafe or restaurant. Even a simple, "Could I have the chicken sandwich, please?" works perfectly. You'll feel more comfortable each time.
Here's another challenge that's easy but really effective. Record yourself speaking. Pick a topic, maybe something simple like my favorite movie, and record yourself speaking for a minute. Then listen to it. You'll hear things you can improve on, and you'll also notice how much you've already learned.
I love recording myself. It helps you see your progress, and honestly, you might surprise yourself. Another small challenge: try speaking only in English for 10 minutes today. It could be while you're at home or during a walk. Set a timer for 10 minutes and just talk to yourself in English. It might feel a little strange, but it's such a powerful way to practice.
That's a great one, Julia. And how about this? Write a short message in English to a friend, family member, or even on social media. You don't need to write a whole essay, just a simple sentence or two. It'll get your mind thinking in English, and you might get some feedback too.
That's a fun challenge. You can also try watching a short video in English without subtitles. It might be tricky at first, but challenge yourself to understand the main ideas. Even if you don't catch everything, you'll improve your listening skills.
And here's a big one: attend an English-speaking event online. You can find webinars, live streams, or even virtual meetups where people speak English. It's a great way to immerse yourself, and you can start by just listening and picking up new words.
Great suggestion, Jason. You can also try learning a new word or phrase today and use it in a sentence. Maybe ask someone, "What's your favorite place to visit?" Or use a phrase like, "I've been meaning to try this." Small new words can add up quickly.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. The important thing is that you're challenging yourself and making progress every day. Take each challenge one step at a time.
To wrap it up, challenge yourself to do something in English every single day, no matter how small. The more you push yourself, the more confident you'll become.
So true. These small challenges will keep you moving forward. And soon enough, you'll be speaking English more naturally and confidently in all areas of your life. All right, before we wrap up today's episode, let's talk about some common mistakes that learners often make when trying to speak English. Understanding these mistakes can really help you avoid them and improve faster.
Yes, one of the biggest mistakes is being afraid to make mistakes. So many learners think they need to speak perfectly, but the truth is, mistakes are part of the process.
Exactly. Another mistake is trying to speak too fast. Sometimes learners rush to speak quickly because they want to sound fluent. But clarity is more important than speed. Focus on speaking slowly and clearly first.
That's a great point. Another common mistake is overthinking grammar while speaking. It's important to speak naturally, even if your grammar isn't perfect at first. You can correct mistakes later. Focus on getting your ideas across first.
Yes, and related to that is the fear of using simple sentences. Many learners feel like they need to use complex sentences, but using simple ones is totally fine. Start with the basics, and as you get more comfortable, you can gradually add more complexity.
Definitely. And lastly, another mistake is not listening enough. If you want to speak well, you need to listen to how native speakers talk. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, or just observe how others use the language.
Great tips, Julia. So, remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Speak clearly, and focus on communication instead of perfection.
Exactly. Mistakes are how we learn, and the more you practice, the more natural it will feel to speak English.
We've covered a lot today, and I hope you're feeling motivated to talk English anywhere, anytime. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about taking small steps every day and pushing yourself to practice.
Exactly. And no matter where you are in your English learning journey, you're doing great. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. So don't get discouraged if things don't click right away. Keep going.
Yes, and always remember that consistency is key. Even if it's just a few minutes each day, it all adds up. You'll notice improvements before you know it.
You've got this. Stay motivated, keep challenging yourself, and make English a part of your everyday life. It's not a race, it's a journey, and you're on the right path.
Absolutely. We believe in you. So go out there, try those small challenges, and most importantly, have fun with it.
That's right. Thanks so much for listening today, and remember, every little bit of practice gets you closer to speaking English confidently.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Take care, and we'll see you next time.